everybody, it's Abby here, Purple Cottage Crafts. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch the camera around. So I just got to Bella Peacock. They have that purple dancey thing, so it's kind of loud. Hope you guys can hear me. If not, I'll do a voiceover. But this is the store that I'm in, and I'll walk around, not talk. Well, yeah, because I'll have to do a voiceover because they play music in there. But just to kind of show you guys. So I'm in there, and I'm out of breath because I'm over here huffing stuff in. So I have some things I'm taking in, the bags I showed you guys in the pricing video. And then I have some bag stuffing paper, which is just moving paper I get on Amazon. And then these, because I'm probably not going to talk when I'm in there because I get a little self-conscious talking in front of people when I'm talking to myself. Excuse me. I mean, everybody does that now, I guess. But anyway, so I got these at Hobby Lobby. Sorry, I didn't realize I was so zoomed in. They were 50% off. I typically don't buy stuff like this from Hobby Lobby because it's really expensive, I think, and overpriced, and I can find like legit vintage, and I'd rather spend a little bit extra to get that. So there's that one. So I got two this size, and then they only had one of the larger size. And I'm going to be sticking some of my zipper pouches and stuff in there. That's the plan. And then I always bring my pricing kit, which I've already taken in, and I'll do a separate video on that so you guys can see what I pack in there. But so yeah. Oh, and then I have I already took my tall tripod in. I have my video camera in there. So I'm gonna get you guys set up. Because my booth isn't very big, because I don't need like a huge spot. So if for some reason, because the parking lot's full, if I have people kind of wanting to go in my booth, I'm probably not gonna be able to set up my tall tripod, but I have my small handheld one, and I'll put that in on one of the cabinets or something in my booth so you guys can take a look. So, all right, I'm gonna get going in. See you in a little bit. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just kind of trying to get myself organized. I do put NFS stickers or tags, which stands for not for sale, on all of my decor storage, display type stuff. I get a lot of people that want to buy like my old table, that wood cubby thing in the back there against the wall. And then I also have a really cool old Hot Point double sink. So here I'm just showing you some of the zipper pouches that I already had in my booth. And I do have quilting fabric for the lining, and then most of them I put in a slip pocket. And then I always like to add, well, actually, I'll show you that part when I get to one of my larger bags. And this one here, I did a lot of my beloved hand stitching. I'll show you here in a moment. And I've been taking the plastic, I've been taking the paper, tissue paper. There I'm showing you the hand stitching, slow stitching up close. I did take out all of the tissue paper from the different bags because I wanted to use that packing paper I got from Amazon. It just kind of fills out the bag more, and then kind of gives you a visual reference as to how much you can actually put in those bags. And that's what I'm kind of doing over here. The ones I'm stuffing right now, I made 4, but I only brought 3 to the store. So I will be showing you these bags individually up close, and I do slow down so you can kind of take a peek at it. Yeah, here we go. So the interior for all these bags, I use quilting cotton because you want the interior to have some stability and longevity. And when I use my vintage fabrics and whatnot on the outside of bags, I can, enforce them with some interfacing and such. Because you don't want when you're putting your wallet in and out of your purse or your keys or whatever, you don't want that interior fabric to start to tear. So what I was showing you there, and you'll see it in the next ones as well, is I made 2 interior slip pockets. Along the opening of the pockets, I like to put some type of decorative strip. I don't like it when I'm putting my phone or something in my purse and the pocket fabric matches the lining fabric, which is fine. But then I spend like 2 or 3 minutes, it seems like, trying to find the opening of the pocket. So I kind of like that separation, kind of that definition of the opening of the pocket. And what I use for those 3 bags is just a combination of old denim and different feed flower sack. Now these are some stocking caps that I had made for one of the winter shows, and I just have little bits of old quilt or things like that, and I just did some hand stitching on it and added an old button to it, and I only have a couple of those left, I think. So here, this is a old chair vintage dowel, or spindle, excuse me, and so I just tied on some strips of fabric Added some rusty bells and elements that I rusted myself. Those I had it for my April show, and I think I have 3 left. I think I made like 14 or so. So that was a pretty good show. And what I'm doing now is just kind of trying to decide where I want to hang or put those different zipper clutch bags. Let's see, what am I doing? Okay, here's another one. Sorry, I didn't slow that one down. Now, these are hooks that you use for drapery. I'm not sure the proper name. I thrifted these, excuse me, and I'm using those as hooks on that white divider. And all I do, that middle piece, I just kind of pull it out a little bit, and that allows me to put it through the divider and then hang things on it. So that white divider, oh, here we go. Let me talk about this first. This is a vintage tablecloth, some old denim, and I did some patching and hand stitching on that one. My side branding tag I'm showing you there, as well as one on the front. And then I have lining fabric. These currently, I don't have any type of inner pocket or zip pocket in these, but that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. And each of those has a detachable wristlet attached to like a swivel hook. What am I doing here? Okay, kind of moving stuff around again. I'm trying to remember because I did this a couple days ago. Okay, so this is one of 2 bags I made with some Tim Holtz fabric. And you're going to see on there little bits of old leather bits from belts and bags and all kinds of fun stuff. And I have another, what I did on this one is I padded the wristlet on that one. And then the inside is, yeah, this is quilting cotton in there. It's from Moda. And let's see, the zipper top. So I hope I didn't already miss it. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. This is an old metal number. I got a whole big box of them. Thought it'd be kind of fun to add that metal embellishment. Here again is some more old denim, and then this is some vintage fabric. So that type of floral fabric, I don't use that on the interior, as I already mentioned, because it can tear and have some wear and tear. So when I use them on the outside, I always reinforce it with some interfacing. Plus, who wants to hide that really cool fabric inside of a bag? There I did some hand stitching again on the strap. And then I always have a stamp that says that when I use hand stitching. And I'll show that to you guys better when I show you what's in my pricing market tote that I have. Let's see. Okay, yeah, just showing you the top of the zipper again with the zipper tabs. I started out making these pouches, and you'll see when I show them to you here in a little bit. I was using the zippers that you can buy from like Hobby Lobby, Walmart, like the YKK zippers. Hang on, let me show you this one first. All right, Davis, that's actually my maiden name. This is some old Carhartt material, and then vintage, again, grain sack, feed sack, that kind of fun stuff. And just kind of patch those together. It's kind of crazy how long it takes to actually do all that. I was really surprised the first one I made. I was like, wow, this takes a long time. So, and then some of the different stitching detail, I did just use my sewing machine, as I showed you on that strap there. Some have metal embellishments, or I'll put on Chicago screws, all kinds of fun stuff. Now, there's not a lick of purple on this one here, but it is one of my favorites. I just think it's so cool. I did some hand stitching applique. You can see the materials. That's some old quilting material there in addition to that one. Just basically, these are how I did my, or how I do my journals and stuff. It's just transformed from paper into fabric. I just love all the stitching and the patchworky and the mix of old and new. Like this one, I didn't do any stitching on the strap. I think it looks great just as it is. Just using more of the denim, and that's some kind of, that's probably about as novelty fabric as I get what that interior fabric is. I think it's kind of fun to have a fun pop of different type of fabric on the inside when you're looking at old and vintage stuff on the outside. Just kind of something fun, I think, and interesting. Let's see, here I'm just trying to rearrange and trying to decide what I like. Okay, now for this one, this is the first time I've come across a vintage feed sack that has pink on it. I got 3 of them. So I was waiting for my swivel hooks to come, so I didn't make any for these, which is fine because not every zipper clutch has to have a detachable wristlet if you don't want it to. So I have a couple in there. I think I sold 2 of those. I had 3 of the pink ones in there, which is never a bad thing. That's a good thing. All right, and here's the other Tim Holtz one that I made. This is with just different fabrics. This has, again, the vintage metal number. Let's see, lots of hand stitching, slow stitching. I use it interchangeably there. This is just a little leather bit. I get these like from like either thrifting or when I'm at other vintage markets or even at pawn shops are great places. Like I use strappings and stuff from old military bags, old weaponry bags, things of that nature. Just kind of fun to mix that in. And again, just showing you the zipper. Oh, back to the zipper. So now I use zipper tape or zipper by the yard. It just gives a little bit more polished look because it's got that metallic or metal zipper on it, or metal zipper look. You can get both. I love this bag here. This is one of my favorite tote bags that I've made recently. What am I doing there? Oh, so this is really fun. It has a pocket on the front side, or the outside, excuse me. Lots of metal embellishments. That gold medallion thing you see, that's from England, actually. It's from an old hotel. And then again, here's an interior slip pocket. This one I made a little bit more slouchy because I think it's kind of a fun little look. And I also make more that have a bit more stability in it too. So just kind of a mix. So some of the decor items you see now, like the old soda crates and stuff, some of these are items that I use from the markets that I do. Okay, here's one. That has one of the newer zippers there. That's some vintage ticking on the back. I believe this one, yeah, that's the zipper that you can get, the YKK. Nothing wrong with those at all. I just prefer to use the zipper by the yard or zipper tape. Just kind of a little bit more polished look, I think. Let's see, what am I doing? Okay, just stuffing more of those bags. So what I was saying is a lot of the display and decor stuff that I use at markets, I put in my booth, but then when I have a market coming up, I will go and take it out. Now I do use some new fabrics on some different things. Not everybody loves our beloved vintage items. So I like to throw in a mix of some new fabrics as well, different patterns and textures and textiles. I think the mushrooms coming up next. I think the one I just showed you, that was pretty popular with some like high school girls when I did a recent market. I had, oh my, those right there. I think I had close to 20 different sizes. This is really cool. This is a hair tool, zipper pouch that I made. You can use it for whatever you want, but there's a picture there showing you the kind of things that I was putting inside of it. This one's not for me, obviously. It's not purple, but it's just really cool. You can put whatever you want in there. These are some weekender bags that I've made, the first in my travel series, and this bag took quite a while to make. It's probably this is actually the biggest bag I've ever made. It's already spoken for before I even got it finished. One of my good friends bought it, so I'm really happy about that. So you'll see more of those coming in the future as I'm just, kind of expanding my, I guess, inventory or whatever as moving forward. These are just some chocolate little bunnies that I had left over from a February show. These are strawberries. These were hand cut, hand stitched. Those took forever, but those were a pretty good hit as well. So I call those my filler items. Here we have the wristlet key fobs or keychains. I've heard them called both. And I just use a combination of some new fabrics, mostly that's Tim Holtz fabrics there. Vintage, flour sack, feed sack, old tablecloths, old clothing, that kind of thing. And I make them in a few different sizes. And they seem to go over well, so I was happy about that. All right, now we are towards the end. So I did slow this down a bit so I could kind of chat with you as I was going through. And this is just kind of an overview. Ignore the stuff under the table there. There's another one of those hats that are stocking caps. And then those are just the bags that you guys saw me stuff and put in my space. And so those three kind of look the same, a little bit similar. That denim right there, that was just a test pattern for my neighbor who paid me to, or asked me to, I should say, because she paid me in a bunch of denim to make one for her grandson. So that one you see hanging there, that was just my first time using that pattern, just to kind of test it out. Because I was using a pair of her adult son's jeans from when he was a kid. So I wanted to make sure that I was, not wasting that material. So here is my most recent messenger / crossbody bag. The rusting you see is organic. That is made from an old military canvas like rucksack or duffel bag, whatever you want to call it. There are huge grommets on the top of it. So when it was folded in storage, the rusting was just natural that you see on there. And I think it's really cool. I love it. Old button, another one of those big metal numbers right there, just more hand stitching. I like to utilize the holes in the tears. I think it's kind of fun on different projects. Okay, these are just some more of the filler items I had left over from the vintage market. Those fabric stuffed envelopes were a really good hit, so I was really happy about that. I think I have like 3 left. Just another shot of what's on the table. Now, the cabinet that these are sitting on, that is not old. That's from Hobby Lobby. I just took the doors off. So that's what's in there for now, what I'm using. There's another shot of it there. Just some more items, that's those Eastery things are from the spring show I did. These are some of the Americana patriotic pillows. Those were also a good seller. I think I had like 30, and this is all that I have left on the top. Maybe it's closer to 40, I think. I had quite a bit. And this really cool wood cubby display you're seeing here, that's actually from an old hotel that I actually Steve bought it for me. I think it was in Bozeman where we found that beauty. And yeah, I just kind of tucked my filler items left over from past markets in there. And it's not the best way to display my zipper pouches because it is so deep. So I just kind of tuck things in. That's one of my fabric hearts from a February show. That's the last one I had left, which makes me happy. This is a Easter pillow where I just hand cut out bunnies made from vintage feed sacks, that dried floral arrangement. Those are actually in old vintage milk bottles. Let's see, this is a dress form I just purchased from one of my good friends who's also a fellow vendor. Let's see, yeah, that one's made from another flour sack. Just a close-up shot of the zipper clutches that I put on that white divider, and you can see how those hooks, those drapery hooks fit in there really nice. So that white divider, I got it from Wayfair. I thought it was going to be a little bit more sturdy than what it was or what it is. So Steve is going to put me on the one side of my booth. You see those old vintage wood doors that are made into like a wall. That's Sarah, the one who owns the store. That's her area. So Steve's going to replicate that and put that on the other side for me because it'll be a little bit more stable, and I can put some different shelves and hooks and stuff on there to display my bags and everything. So that's what's going to happen eventually. And then I'll probably just put that wood divider up on Facebook Marketplace or something. So we'll see. And just another shot of the bags and zipper pouches in the vintage wood soda crates. Some are Pepsi, some are Coca-Cola. I found that amazing white chippy table. It has two sides that fold down, and I think I have both sides down. Yeah, I think I do, because that way it's not poking into the walkway on the other side of my booth. Okay, coming up, I'm going to be showing you another dress form, and has another one of my hats on it. Now, Mary Catherine, this is her Instagram here. I will link it below so you can go follow her. She makes amazing jackets and all kinds of apparel out of vintage clothing, quilts, all kinds of cool stuff. She's an absolute sweetheart, and I really appreciate her because she gives me all of her quilt scraps, and I'm very happy about that and very grateful. Let's see here. Okay, just another shot of some different items on the back side because I try to utilize my space the best that I can. So I just like to, use all the space that I am able to. So here you're going to see a couple bags here, tote bag and like a handbag. Those are made from newer fabric. So, and I was basically just testing out different patterns and stuff, which I like to do on, new fabric and things like that because, our vintage items, they're not the easiest to find, and I don't want to waste any of that material. There's that really cool double sink, hot point sink you see right there. A lot of people want to buy that. I get calls about it. But the owners at the workers or employees, I should say, at the store, they know that those things aren't for sale, which is why I put the NFS stickers on them. So here I'm just going to be kind of chat with you just a little bit about a few things. So sorry I have to stare at my chalkboard sign, but there you go. That is actually a vintage chalkboard I found. I was really happy at a thrift store. So let me look at my little notes here. Let's see. Okay, so if you see something in this video that you are interested in, just send me an email, which is this purplecottagecrafts@gmail.com. Give me a timestamp and a description of what you saw in the video, and if it's still available, we can work out the details. I also post pictures and stuff on my Instagram, and I actually sold quite a few things before they even made it into the store, so let me know. Sarah and Joe, they are the owners of Bella Peacock, and Sarah is an absolute, Joe is too, but Sarah's who I speak with the most. She found me at one of the vintage markets I do, and she said that, hey, I'd like to have you come and have a space at our store. We love what you do, that kind of thing. And it took me almost a year to go do that because I just got bashful about it and So she actually gave me part of her space, which I was very grateful for. And because there is a wait list, so I was very happy to get in there. I don't think I showed you a shot of the area rug that's on the floor. She graciously is letting me use hers until I can get one that is more in, I guess it's not my taste, because the one that's in there is not bad or anything, but it's not purple, and that's what I want for my booth. So yeah, she's just a real sweet person. So let's see. I also have some uh, past markets and different videos and reels and photos, and I will do a separate video showing those to you guys in case you're interested. And let's see, what else am I going to say? Oh, so I know you're probably like, wait a second. The last video we saw from Abby, it was about paper journals and all kinds of fun stuff, no fabric bags or whatever. So I know I'm kind of just like jumping in here and just kind of like, not even giving you a real good intro to it. But this has been my passion and my love for almost 2 years of doing, different types of bags, pouches, weekender, travel bags, that kind of thing. And I still love my journals. I still love my paper. I'm just taking a break and I'm just focusing on some new stuff that I really enjoy. And I am, you guys, I'm just loving making these bags. And it's fun expanding my knowledge and my sewing skill set. Almost everything I make bag-wise has some form of hand stitching on it, even if it's just me hand sewing on my branding label, but there's always something on there because I love it so much. And I just hope you guys are going to enjoy this part of my creative journey of where I'm sharing and showing you guys all of my fabric products and different fabric items that I'm making. I will be updating my website where I'm taking off some things that I don't really want to create and sell anymore because I have new interests and stuff. So I will be having all kinds of listings on my website for different bags and zipper pouches and the like. So I will be having some on my website that I will not be putting in the store, just because somebody could buy something I have a picture of on my website, and before I can go into town to go get it, it may be sold, and I don't want to have any issues like that or anything. So I will be adding more things to my website, or actually not adding more. I will be adding different things to my website as far as zipper pouches, bags. I will be doing seasonal things too, like a lot of my holiday items, fall and spring and that kind of stuff, and like for 4th of July. So I will be throwing those kind of things up on my website as well. So be sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel if you have not. And just kind of follow along with me and see what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And it's been 23 months since my last video upload, so it's kind of weird to be doing a video because it's been so long. But I just wanted to kind of chit chat with you guys at the end of this one and just let you know what I'm up to and kind of what to expect. Now, before I filmed this video, I did film myself pricing everything, so that one's going to go up second because I wanted to get this one at first. Just the order that I had it saved on my file. So that's going to be coming up next. And then as I mentioned, I want to do a video where I'm showing you guys what's in my tote that I take back and forth to the store and to the markets and things like that. So you can kind of see that. Now, if there's anything that you would be interested in seeing me do, let me know. I don't currently have the best filming setup in the house, which is where I sew, to do overhead filming of me at my sewing machine. So I will try to do my best, but my overhead film mounting system that I have in the garage does not work in the house. So, all right, guys, I'm going to quit yakking at you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see y'all in my next video. So thanks so much, guys. Bye.